Oh, she managed to slip that one in before we began. Take seconds. You take 5 points of psychic damage. You feel a nosebleed starting. It hasn't come out yet. It's just started being at the beginning.
I could probably get myself to have a nosebleed, honestly.
Hello and welcome to Damsels and Dice. We're just going to roll right on into it because we don't necessarily... Oh no.
Roll.
This is... Bards. Subtle soul bards. She's not actually a bard. She's a soul bard.
She's a bard.
So, picking up from where we dropped off last time.
Like literally 8 hours ago.
Yes.
Basically.
Oh, I remembered. It's a little dicey, but this is how we roll.
Oh.
Come on, it's better than...
11 points of psychic damage.
No, I barely made my save.
I think that should be our catchphrase.
I did kind of like it, but I still going to take damage every time
I'm
you
still
say
going
it.
to take damage.
Then I get to say it every time.
She says it once
I have
an hour on
immunity
the hour.
against psychic damage.
Wait, I have... No, I don't. I have against...
Radiant necrotic.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just talking
Damn.
about me. Like, if I had a character sheet.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
At any
Okay,
rate.
ready. Into the woods.
Into the woods.
Into the
yes.
woods.
You
We're
guys.
going straight into the woods, or we don't get to walk on the path at all?
Oh, we're following where Tal'el's going.
Let's do a slight little recap, just in case. You all went from this city, or more or less the town of Willends, after performing various activities there. Went into Bomberg, stayed a few nights, met a few different NPCs, a few different individuals. One of them being Nessie. You all received tattoos late in the evening after a interesting round of let me guess your past.
And then scare the shit out of you.
Best
Upon
game ever.
you all waking up the next morning, had a conversation about best practices, what to do going forward, and had breakfast with Jacob and Wyatt. Now, whenever you all had breakfast with both of them, you asked them why you should be suspicious, or why you shouldn't be suspicious, of the request given to you by your small fae friend, Tal'el.
Acquaintance.
Acquaintance.
Oh, faithful small friend.
No. No, I will take away that advantage I gave you from last night.
You cannot. I'm gonna tell.
No.
I got advantage on one roll today because she took my pillow
And she said she didn't.
and she lied about it.
It was a simple misunderstanding.
Sorry.
After much debate and internal and external conflict, you all elected to proceed with helping him. You gathered up your things, packed up your room. I assume you did, at least. You said you packed up all your
Yeah, we did.
things.
Yeah, we did.
Could we get advantage? Or not advantage? A refund? For the night we didn't use?
We can ask.
You go and make a persuasion roll.
Can I do one?
That was like-
or can I do
that
it
was
with
like-
advantage?
You can do one each, or
What's your persuasion?
advantage for one of you.
5.
Plus 4. So you roll twice.
Okay.
And then I choose the higher. That's... It's tilted.
Okay. 14 and 9, so 14 plus 19.
You get half of it back.
Okay.
After
Okay.
much discussion, they
That's 10.
did have a few people who were interested in the rooms, and they told them that, they didn't necessarily have reservations, so you get half of your gold back.
Alright, that's fine.
So that was just 10, I think.
It was 20.
20 and 9.
No, it was 22. It was 22 a night because I paid for one of the nights. So we got half of that back. So it's 22 times 3?
66.
66, so we got 33 back.
Okay.
You
And
added
with
all
that?
33 years, right?
I
What?
know. Add the other
33.
half to yours.
Well, what's half of 33?
18.
Sorry, math guys.
17. 16.
16.
16!
I'll just add 16. That's good.
It's spring break. I don't
16.
I don't want to do math.
No.
And yet we were playing a dice game. This is fine. You pack up Warrior, much to his dismay, as he is a noble beast prepared to charge into the frays of heated battle, and he is currently carrying belongings.
More like to his dismay. Okay, that's the last one. I'm done.
Oh, good thanks.
I'm done.
To a natural 20, I die. Sophia is now dead.
You all head off into the swamps. Now, the path overall, until it kind of indicates to you that you need to follow north for a certain amount of time, and then to make the best time, you all can continue on the road, and then veer off, and kind of making a triangle, essentially. Which, oddly enough, is the same kind of path that you could have taken when you were getting the barrels of ale for Nicholas. You can either go on the main road and then cut over, which could possibly take more time, or you could cut straight through. There's no scary forest, as he
I'm about to say, I'm about to be like, oh, hell no.
No, you can travel the one diagonal distance, or you could travel on the main road and then cut over across the swamps.
And he said this is north what?
It's northwest.
I say that we cut through. What's the worst thing that could happen? It's the worst thing, because I want to cut down another time.
Now continue for now. I'm gonna look at something real quick. I gotta find it.
If there's anything specific that you all do, one other thing that they did is they left a note for Adrielle saying that if she were to arrive at the town, that she could stay put there, that you all were going to try and take care of business ahead of time, and possibly come back and meet her.
Yes.
We'll come back.
The party of 4 set off on the road. What path do you take?
I think we should cut through to save time.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine with me.
Okay.
Zoom, at this point, takes lead.
With Tal'el.
With Tal'el. And begins
I'll
leading
follow
you
behind
through.
with Warrior. And then do you mind taking up the rear? Is that okay?
That's okay.
And trudging through, just for relative narrative and brevity's sake, go ahead, make a survival check, and then just a normal constitution saving throw.
19 for survival. 21 for survival. 5 for constitution. I'm surviving, but I'm not liking it.
I got 13 for survival.
13 and...
12 for constitution. I'm not enjoying
There are a
myself
few times
right now.
where you guys, you're dodging and following very closely behind Zoom's steps. He's indicating from place to place to place where is safe to step, where shouldn't be safe. He points over in a couple of the directions and shows where there are several smaller, the small ones, smaller crocodiles sunbathing over in one of the nearby lagoons.
Can I also make like a perception and see if there's any like good banjo moss? Because I'm a little low.
Sure. Go ahead and make a perception check. Or you're looking for, this is
Just like any like herbs that I might recognize.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Things that I can use. So that's a 19 plus perception is 6, so 25.
25. You do manage to find some more moss, which is a nice boon to have, especially whenever you're working with medicine. Overall, there are very few herbs still growing. I mean, again, this is, still kind of in those early stages of spring. Things are beginning to blossom. Things, life is springing back into this place.
Any good, like, grass that I can dry out to turn into hay?
A lot of it is already withered and died.
Hello, I gotta ask.
You do find some cattails.
Oh, I'll take cattails.
Not actual cat, not like the feline cattails, but I'm talking about the stalk that looks like a corn dog.
I'll take some of those. I'll take some of that. Just FYI, what I was looking for was that giant ass crocodile was headed west.
Yes, it was. I remember that.
I just wanted to, I was checking, You never
And
know
so
what
was
to,
the-
you never know, and so was those other things that we didn't know what they were.
Those other big monsters, it's all going west, so that's why that's where the story's going.
Should definitely have headed east. But then again, they could be running from something that's in the east. So it's like, there's really not a good option. But it is what it is.
Okay.
Okay, I'm good. I just
Overall,
had
you
to...
all do have to take a few breaks now and then. Both of your all's constitution. Everybody, when it comes midday, you all
I
take
got
a
the
minute
water
and,
warrior.
you know, stretch, take a breather, just take a short rest. Is there anything you all do during that specific amount of time?
I work on Zoom's armor.
Okay.
We need
simple
to finish this stuff.
I'm just
So
gonna
go
kind of be
ahead
flipping
and,
through like my book of herbs just so that I can like, in case I see anything else
Okay.
interesting.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna like set the moss out to dry and stuff so that before I pack it back up.
Good to know. Go ahead and this essentially would kind of not a leather worker's. Yeah, it would kind of be an armor making check. So roll your dice, add your dexterity and your proficiency modifier.
Oh, good.
6 in charisma?
Yes. Okay.
It's
so
her saving
9,
throw.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Plus dex and proficiency bonus.
15?
Yes.
Your nimble fingers are beginning to sew all of the pieces together, some of the larger pieces. You're making sure that there are no gaps in the armor, sewing quickly. There are a couple times where you almost kind of prick your finger. Working with a very hefty leatherwork needle. But yeah, you don't quite get it done. But if you work on it maybe tonight, you could probably get it finished.
Okay. Yes. I'm good.
Okay. Gathering up your things, you continue to press on. Go ahead and make another Constitution check. Just not a saving throw, just a check.
5.
8.
Okay. We're just gonna switching up my dice. They're on timeout.
We need a dice jail. Where's the dice jail?
Okay,
I do have a whole bag over here if you want it.
I don't want to touch the DM's dice. That is bad luck.
Nonsense.
Nonsense! That shit will roll me 6 ones in a row.
They'll do me well.
Do you? Not me.
Okay. Not much better, but hey. We'll see what we can get.
What numbers?
8.
Oh, I got a 5 for Constitution.
Mhm.
That's why it's...
Zoom seems to be holding up pretty well. Tal'el isn't really doing much, and from time to time you see, like, it looks like he's talking with Zoom from, you know, occasional conversation. The way that you're all following, it's hard to make out unless you're, like, intentionally listening.
My back hurts.
By the
It's
time-
my tattoo.
Mm.
Oh god.
You all get to...
When we pause, I'm gonna rub some more on her back and rub some on mine.
Zoom goes ahead and begins camouflaging the area as you haven't quite made it as far as you wanted to, but you've made it quite a distance. You are on schedule, just if you continue to roll poorly. No. It's good. It's
Yes.
fine.
So we're making camp.
You're making
I'm going to ritual cast alarm.
Mhm. You sit, and as Zoom gathers up the leaves, what little vegetation he can to kind of help disguise the area, you go ahead and cast alarm. Everything is cast. Everything is ready.
Yeah.
Firewood is prepped.
Yep.
And you all are there.
Should
for
we
the
take
evening.
watch? Because like I'm feeling nervous, honestly.
Yes.
Okay.
We should take watch.
I'll take first watch,
Okay.
and then Zoom can take second. You can take last.
We're good.
Zoom nods, gives a little thumbs up, curls up by the fire, which is just barely embers, but still enough to give you all a nice warm sense. Talavin, if you're taking first watch, go ahead and make a roll.
Of.
Just a perception check.
I do crocodile.
24.
24. You're listening out. Look to the left, look to the right. You hear creaking. You hear some rustling. See some rabbits. You see some bunnies.
Yikes.
At one point you see a doe and her fawn.
Oh, I'd be like, let me shoot it, but then you said a fawn, so I was like, no.
You see both
Good
of them.
Crazy man.
See both of them kind of walking by, taking drinks from the water.
I want to make sure Warrior's fine. I gotta make sure he has his blanket on and he's got clean water.
Overall, uneventful watch.
Good job. And then
Nora,
is it Azum's job? Yes.
while you're sleeping,
Yes.
you
There's
don't
nothing.
you don't see the gate.
Mm-hmm.
You open your eyes and there's nothing familiar around you. It's this black abyss. You can feel there's ground beneath you. You look around, you look down at your form, and you're almost glowing slightly. You look around, and then you hear the voice. You don't see, but you hear. And it's comforting and warm. I'm sorry I can't be there tonight. But I figured that you needed to. You can sense him smile. And you need to be practicing. I need you to focus. I need you to concentrate. I need you to think about what it is that you want, what it is that you're seeking. Meditate and think on these things. I have to go. Voice drifts off and you are left in this empty, blank space.
Okay. Is it just like there's nothing on the ground? It's just kind of like
You feel
black
ground.
canvas?
You feel your feet are gaining purchase on something, but you look around and it's just black. You know that you're in some kind of space, but there's no defining feature. You can't see anywhere off to your left. You can't see anywhere off to your right. You look
Okay.
above, just black canvas.
Gotcha. All right. I'm just gonna meditate. Like you told me to.
So I do have a quick question, side question.
Mm-hmm.
Do I technically need sleep? Like, because we don't technically, like, need sleep. Like, if
Yes.
we were just, like, chill walking or whatever. I'm just curious. I'm not saying I'm not gonna sleep. I'm just asking for, like, generalizing in my head.
Generalizing in your head. You all aren't full elf, so you don't just need that 4 hours of simple meditation. You all do tire, and you have been going through kind of not difficult terrain because of your ranger companion, but you feel physically tired.
So, like, just, like, kind of
You would-
meditating wouldn't even have to
Meditating would not suffice. You would need to sleep. I'm bending the rules slightly, as the official rule book says you need 8 hours of sleep. But because kind of mix matching a few things here and there, I'm saying you would need a minimum of 6.
It's like real life. Who gets 8 hours of sleep every night?
My mom.
I don't. I either get 4 hours or 12 hours. There's no in between.
No in between. I get
It
1
doesn't even average out
or
to
18.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Okay. So I sit down and I take a breath.
Yeah, what do you think about?
Oh man, no, it's hard for me.
Ha. Suffer like I've suffered.
Okay. So last time Jasper told me to talk to Talavin, which I haven't yet. So I'm going to meditate on why he might have told me to do that.
Okay. Make an intelligence check. Or this would be an intelligence saving throw.
Yes. Natural 20!
It is about time! The dice are with you! You begin thinking logically along those lines. Okay, why would, obviously he sent you to her. You begin thinking along those lines. Why would he have sent... Why would he indicate that you needed to be together? And then you start thinking about your cousin. Following that line of logic, you begin thinking, okay, she, I knew her, we were close, we were thick as thieves whenever we would see each other during their family gatherings, the clan gatherings. Why would, but there's something that's different. She's the same, but she's different. There's something not off, but changed. Evolved? Is that the right word to use? You begin thinking about that. You think about her mentioning dreams. You think about her alluding to this extra piece, and you begin wondering, is she having dreams like yours? Does she have a similar skill set? Does she have someone like Jasper? Maybe, possibly. You're beginning to grasp at straws. Just any little thread. And you start to wonder, okay, so, she's changed, there's this time. And then there's a thought that clicks. Am I changing? Oh. Is she going through something? And is the same thing happening to me? Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
It's not as good. 11?
11. Trying to see out of body experiences, trying to get that third person, trying to insight into yourself. You can't think of any way that you've changed. You've always been faithful in your studies. You've always dedicated yourself to what it is that the task set before you. You're having a hard time getting a bead on these different strands, these different threads. Have you changed? Is something different and you didn't notice? Jasper seems to notice something different. And it's not just because your back is sore. It's not just because of the tattoo that is scrawled into your flesh. There's something else that seemed to... It seems to be on the tip of Jasper's tongue, and is he reluctant to say it? Is he able to say it? And you think maybe you can ask him about it, or would he even be able to answer that question? Maybe that's why he set this task before you.
Mm-hmm.
How else do you meditate on this?
I want to think about, on the pretense of things changing. Mm-hmm. I could think about, maybe I haven't changed or I'm going to change, but my situation did, because obviously something's after me now. Mm-hmm. So that probably ties into it. So I guess I'm going to think about changes that are valuable, or things that changes someone's...
What causes change? Triggering events that cause change.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a logical line of thinking, so make another intelligence saving throw. You're sitting there and you're...
Natural 20!
It is about
I told you to lose that other dice.
I know, they just needed to be scared. Okay.
You begin... Okay, so reflecting on oneself is a lot harder than you originally anticipated. So, I'm going back to my line of focus. I am going to think my way out of this. And you sit there and you don't cross your arms, but you sit, and not out of frustration, but as a meditative stance, you sit and you clasp your hands and you begin thinking. Okay. Different things, there are different triggering events. Something obviously is changing. Something obviously is different. Jasper seemed to notice. He's been going off on these different meetings. Maybe that's what it's about. And you start thinking, okay. What has changed? Your age has changed. Parents haven't changed. Circumstances haven't changed. Something beyond your own sight has changed. And you begin to wonder, what could that be? You're not quite sure. but something somewhere else has changed. Because after reflecting upon yourself, nothing's changed.
Of course
after thinking internally, absolutely nothing has changed. I mean, you've always followed the steps. You've always been diligent. Following. You notice, or you begin thinking about the other changes that have happened. You think about the warmth of his grasp. You think of that tightness in your chest, that flutter and your very core, that tingling sensation that rushes up your arm, just floods your senses. You think of the smell, you think of everything that bond between you and Jasper. And you begin wondering, has that changed? Is this what's changed?
Me being insecure in my unofficial relationship.
You begin following that line of logic, and your line eventually goes to that note and that untaken sip of wine. You reflect on that for a bit, thinking, are these the things that have changed? But how does that tie into your cousin?
Your dreams are so fucking nice, dude.
How it ties into...
How does it tie into your cousin? He said, talk to your cousin. That's where eventually you reach that end point, and you think about that note until you can't even bear to it being a passing thought. And you go back to, how does this relate to my cousin? And you start thinking back along that line of, surely she doesn't know Jasper. But something's different, something's changed. I've changed based on your intelligence roll. Or something has. Many things have. One more. What do you do?
Okay, let's see.
Giving the information.
Reflected on me and the situation. Or, no, Talavin, and then the situation, and then... what will be a good... I suppose what I want. Like... Obviously, I've been training as a special smithy, an enchanting arcana smith. I don't know if there's a term for it, but I've been training for that.
And armor.
And then I've also been training as a warlock, and I've always been divided. Like, my attentions have always been like one world and another, and so I guess I'm split between the two. And I've always preferred my Fae side, but I still use and hold onto my other side. So thinking about, kind of like me right now, my future, or like what I actually want. It's probably not the right one, but I can't think of another one, so let's go with it.
Make an insight check. Nine? Unfortunately, that leaves you with more questions than answers. What is it that you do want? How does this all connect? How does this all tie into one another? Why can't he just give you the answers, and then you realize there's a beauty to struggling for the right response, the right answer. And there's a reason why he's only giving you these clues. He's always been upfront. He's always addressed certain information.
So it's something I have to do by myself.
You end up with that conclusion.
Which is what I want. I want to become stronger by myself.
Before your vision darkens and fades, and you feel a gentle jostle on your shoulder, and you see Zoom.
Oh, like, okay.
He rubs his eyes.
I'll take watch now.
Nods. Curls back up by the fire. Talavin, did you do anything else while you were by the fire?
I'm gonna say I was just kind of like meditating and just like thinking about like what Malik and Bay kind of talked to me about, or well, Malik talked to me about and Bay demanded of me, more or less.
But yeah, did you all have any kind of conversation while you were trudging through the swamps the day before?
Did you want to ask?
I was just wondering.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly just keeping an eye out, being sus, over in the corner, quiet.
Trying to miss the crocs.
Alright, Nora, it is your watch. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Be perceptive! 19 minutes, every other one. Okay. That would be 23.
23?
Yep. Perception.
As you're sitting there listening, watching, eyes darting from side to side, you don't see anything. Again, it's just kind of that eerie quiet. There are no sounds of bugs. There are no sounds of amphibians. It's just kind of this very quiet, very still. And your watch goes without issue.
Thank goodness.
Okay. You all
Wake
get
up,
up.
everybody.
You get up early in the morning, coming to consciousness. Oh. Talavin.
Shit. I thought she forgot. Oh.
You go to sleep. And you open your eyes. You see the lake before you. You see the sky above you. You see the very familiar landscape. But you do not see flaming eyes across the water, and you do not hear the crackling of electric energy
I'm
behind
going to say I take 10 steps away from the water.
Okay.
As I'm looking above the trees in case she comes bounding towards me.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't hear anything...
You don't hear anything. It's that same eerie quiet. But this quiet brings comfort. There's never been very much sound in this particular place.
Okay. Well, if nothing's going to technically happen, I'm going to, I'm going to say that, like, I'm just going to, like, sit and meditate on the last few things that have happened in my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm just gonna, like, think about, you know, like, Malik's words to me, and then, like, Bay's words saying, you know, why would I want to step back when I need to be stepping forward, but then, you know, how Malik was, like, stating that, you know, if everybody's already, you know, people are already dead, there's no point in protecting them because they're already gone.
Mm.
So, I don't know, just thinking about stuff like that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna kind of, like, sit down and just think about it. But I'm keeping my ears open in case I hear electricity anywhere
No,
before I can...
you don't hear anything. You don't see anything.
I'm never completely relaxed here
Eyes.
anymore.
You're gonna be
Glancing.
traumatized by thunderstorms now.
Straight facts right there now.
Is that all you do? Is just
Yeah.
reflecting on their words?
I'm just, like, thinking about
You
it.
spend that time, motionless lake before you. And that's whenever you all come to consciousness. Nothing happens throughout
This is
the
fine.
entire night.
This is fine.
It's fine.
You get up, have a relatively light-ish breakfast. Standing at a campsite, making sure everything's placed back to where it needs to be. Yes. Nora.
Do we photosynthesize?
No, you don't
If we-
photosynthesize.
If we have a light breakfast.
6 points of psychic damage.
4 points of psychic damage. I'm just gonna put a tally up over on the side, and if I reach 0,
The DM officially gets to kill all of us with what's
yeah, I'm going to turn to a random page in the monster book, and I'm going to smite you all with whatever monster I come
Come on,
across.
that was funny. That was really funny.
You pack up, do all of your various morning activities unless there's something specific that you want.
I don't even know what do we have. Because what do we have?
Dried boar.
Yeah, we don't really have that much. So we're just gonna go with a light breakfast. I'll make some more tea.
Mm-hmm.
Make some tea. That's about it.
Okay. If there are no conversations to be had, you all set off on your second day of travel.
Yeah, it's kind of already too late to bring up. We should have gone and visited his town. But it is what it is.
I know.
They're kicking themselves.
I know. Okay, slight backstory. I woke up this morning and I was like, we should have gone to see Tal'el's town. Why didn't we go? Why didn't we see his town? Okay.
Ish.
It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine.
It's fine, but it's not fine.
Okay.
You all head out on your second day of travel. Zoom once again takes point. Traversing across the various swamplands, go ahead and make a constitution check
I want to also make a perception roll.
for...
Just for any herbs that I might see. Because I never know
Constitution.
what the DM's going to throw at that herb.
Constitution.
Mhm.
So do we want just a constitution? Or do
Yeah,
you
constitution and survival, and then since
then-
you want to do perception, you can go ahead and do perception.
Constitution first.
I'm going to say a 21 in survival.
Mm-hmm. Easy enough. You glancing about, finding the right places to step.
I'm going to do a 9 in constitution.
You are hurting a little bit. Your tattoo is just really
I'm going to
bugging
put some
you
more
today.
paste on that shit.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then I got a 22 in perception.
22. Again, not a whole lot of herbs too nearby. You do see a couple of places that have kind of a thick sludgy moss, which if you took the time and dried it out, it might possibly do something beneficial. You see a couple of kind of what look like wild lilies, like wild water lilies there, but they look a little bit wilted. They look a little bit frostbitten.
I'll take them.
You approach the water. Just asking. You said you did.
No, I don't take any of it. It's sludgy.
Okay.
Just going to keep going.
Okay.
I got a 10 for Constitution and a 19 for Survival.
You're finding all of the right places to step, but your back is still aching a little bit. Zoom is actually, he looks like he's hurting. All of his energy was spent yesterday sprinting through the woods, making sure that you all had the best possible path.
Aww.
And today you can see he's still jovial. He still seems to be in a good mood, like traveling and getting to do stuff. But he's a little bit slower today, but he's still keeping up pretty good. And you all continue further and further west through the swamps. You all stop for lunch.
Northwest?
Yeah, northwest.
You said west.
Well, northwest. You kind of have
I got
to
the B, I got the no.
Yeah,
I think
northwest.
we're weaving a little bit.
Mm.
Work on Zoom's armor.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and make another
Dex proficiency.
Yeah, roll Dex proficiency.
I got a 19 plus Dex, which puts it at a 23, which puts it at a 25.
Nimbleness of fingers, you begin sewing the final straps around the waist, the pauldron on the side. You realize it's not necessarily going to be a tight fit, but he's going to look really good in this armor.
Form-fitting.
And you do manage to finish.
Yes!
With that roll, you put on the final pieces of leather lace, tie it, secure it, and burn the edges.
I'm going to ask Nora, so you can make things?
Mm-hmm.
Can you make apples?
I cannot make apples.
You can't create apples?
I can create an apple
Oh, you have to do a tree, damn.
I have a
Damn.
whole tree coming out of my hand.
Because I'm trying to think of something you can make that I can give to Warrior since
Well,
he's just packing all this shit
Can
around.
they have wheat and stuff?
He's got
He
mud
can.
all over his
Oh, my
front.
baby.
He's been good. He's been traveling well, but
I'm going to say every
he's
time
got
we stop, I've been
mud.
brushing him. Because my little angel is like,
His
this is not what he
his
is
hooves
meant
are
to
just
do.
caked in
Oh,
mud, and his whole front. He tried laying down even with the blanket, and it's his whole side is just kind of. He's got some mud on it, and
little angel.
it's knotting up his tail just a little bit on the.
I'm going to
tips.
say that, well, no, because then he can't swap the flies. I was like, I could braid his tail, but then it just hurts when you swap it.
Oddly enough, no flies.
Okay, well then I'm going to braid his tail. so that it does, and then I'm gonna
Make a
like
little
pin it
bun.
up. I'm gonna like pin it up so that it doesn't get all nutty. And I'm gonna braid his mane and stuff, and I'm gonna give him like a good brush, and I'm just gonna like, I'm just gonna kind of like, I'm just gonna like love on him a little bit and tell him what a good boy he is. I just love him so much, and I'm so sorry you're having to be a pack animal. This is not what you were meant to be.
See his eyes blink slowly. It's like, yeah, huh?
I promise I will even get another horse so that you can just fly free. I'm surprised he hasn't like flown off, honestly. Like, usually they want to be flying around.
You've trained him well.
He's just
He's dedicated.
He's
motivated.
Good boy.
Dedicated, motivated.
Ah! 2nd damage! 17! I'm at 0 hit points! But yeah.
Okay.
Never mind.
That's good. I'm gonna give the armor to Zoom. You're like, Zoom. I finished.
He takes it. He actually runs up uncontrollably and gives you a hug.
I just got my hair.
I'm like watching and I'm just kind of like.
It's not a long hug. It's not it's more like he didn't know what to do with himself, so he quickly kind of wraps him, and he kind of backs away. Like looks a little bashful.
I'm glad you like it.
He immediately starts kind of taking off his rag, thinks about it, goes behind. You can see his arms kind of stretch through from time to time.
Aww.
You hear the tying of leathers. You can see his hands just barely go up, like this.
Aww.
And he comes out. That leather armor looks really good on him. It fits like a glove.
So
With
what is
armor-
it? So is it like full arm?
It's not full arm. So the way that I assume that you designed it is the vast majority. So his entire torso is covered, kind of about mid-thigh. There's a section in the waist that is kind of flexible. You made that part particularly easy. You kind of removed some of the scales and made sure that he could bend and twist. There is a pauldron on one side. It's actually on his right side. So whenever he aims, he can kind of have a little bit of cover right by his face so that if something were to come by and try and scratch his eyes, he'd probably fare a little bit better. The scales themselves kind of come down about to a partial sleeve, and then you had time to essentially craft these thin pieces of leather which come down on either side and lead into bracers.
Yes! I was hoping you would say bracers.
So
So
there's a little bit of flexibility, and it actually ties on either side. So it's not a full sleeved armor, as he does need to be able to move and bend and twist and tumble. But overall, the front does lace in some portions where he just has to tie it together. And then there's adjustable pieces on the side if he needs to, if he's bending over, if he's trying to stealth, he can actually undo the sides.
Okay.
And the bracers are actually removable, so he can actually tack up the pieces of leather that you put on either side and tack them up onto his shoulder, and he can remove the bracers.
Yes!
This does not have any enchantment on it, but it is a finely crafted piece of heavy leather armor.
It should bring up his armor class.
Mm-hmm.
At least a little bit.
It does.
Okay, good.
What's his armor class?
I don't think.
What's his armor class?
Yeah.
Well, his armor class in simple rags
You're going
was.
to tell us?
Well, you wouldn't actually understand what like armor class actually is, so stuff and things. So it initially was one number, so it actually boosts up by 2.
Okay.
So instead of a 15, it's a 17.
Yes!
Man, that's more than mine.
Why have a 17?
14.
Are you wearing armor?
Yeah.
Did you add your armor to your armor class?
I don't know.
Okay.
What's your armor class?
14.
Yeah, it's your dexterity plus whatever armor you selected. You chose leather, which is a 12.
So it should be a 16 then, because my dexterity is +4.
Are you adding your saving throw or your number?
Okay, then it's 2. Yeah, no.
You can't add a saving throw to your
Hey, I
armor
didn't know.
class.
I didn't know.
I see you.
I didn't know.
Cheers.
Cool. I'm pleased.
So if I get a spell in here, can my armor class go up? Because now I'm the weakest one.
Well, it depends. You could do like stone skin. That would like really increase like the armor
Stone
hardness.
skin, bark skin.
Yeah, you would have to activate it, but it would probably make you almost unhittable for a certain amount of turns.
Can you do that?
She can do a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Zoom is overly enthusiastic. He does still wear his kind of ratty scarf, but it's mostly for his travel companion.
Does he have like a cloak?
He has a kind of a half cloak. It's not a full cloak. It's kind of a torn up.
What does this man wear? Just like complete rags?
Usually.
He was an outcast.
Okay, this
No
man's
one
gotta
would
get some new
sell
clothes.
them.
This man's got some gold. He's gonna get some new clothes
He's
in this
got
next
armor
town.
now.
No, he needs clothes.
He looks so cool.
He needs some clothes. Get some nice leather pants,
Yeah.
some nice boots.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna, if he's gonna be riding with us, he's gonna have to class up.
Cool.
As he was getting dressed, go ahead and make a perception check.
23.
Is it the one?
You're dealing with warrior. You're like brushing him and talking.
Yeah.
I mean, if
your attention is elsewhere, but Nora, as Zoom is getting dressed, you do see Tal'el is just kind of sitting. Well, he's standing on one of the logs and he's actually trying out his wings.
Mm.
He's able to get about an inch and sustain it for about 2 or 3 seconds.
Okay, that's good.
But it immediately kind of drops back down, checks.
Okay. I guess I'll be like, oh, your wings are improving.
Yes,
That's
seems
really-
like it. He rolls his shoulders and kind of looks, and you can still see there are still pieces that are torn, but he looks genuinely excited that he's. It seems to be healing all right. It's like, in about a week I should be back to normal.
Oh, that's good.
Thank you again
For what?
for taking me.
Oh, of course.
what do we do? What?
Not at any time or something. I don't know what to say. You're welcome. Are we getting
Nora's
close?
too cool to even say. Yeah, it's good. It's so cool.
You all head out
Are we close?
in the afternoon
Oh.
on your second day. As he said, it was your third day.
3 days of
It takes 3 days of travel in order to get there.
Yes.
You all are still kind of barely pushing that little bit of overtime. Just right on that cusp. Go ahead and make another Constitution check.
Do it. Constitution. 17.
I'm struggling. 5.
5. You are, after brushing over Warrior's coat, after braiding his mane, after braiding
You
his
don't
tail.
understand how hard it is to get mud out of a tail.
It
hard.
was hard, it was time consuming, and you really poured your heart into it because you feel so bad for him.
My little baby.
And
little angel.
and you are just feeling the ache. Every step you hear that underneath of your boots. Thankfully it's not getting into your boots. It's you all are
Ooh.
tracking along with someone who's familiar with the terrain.
Yes.
Night begins to crest upon you. Zoom kind of looks back and kind of motions. And then,
Are you gonna take the first watch? Or are we? Oh, was that him symboling?
Yeah, for your
For-
alarm.
Camp.
I'm just gonna like. What do we link with him? And I'd be like, what are you
shivers.
trying to say?
I'm trying to see if you want to keep going.
How much further do we have?
I mean, we still have a ways to go, according to Tal'el, but if we press on a little bit further, I mean, we might get there very late tomorrow. Or we could arrive there first thing in the morning. It depends. If we keep going now, we can arrive there late tomorrow. Or if we press on a little bit longer, we risk being tired, but we would arrive sooner.
I convey this to Nora.
I think we should move on. I'd rather get in an unfamiliar place in the morning than at night.
It was reversed. If you all rest now, you all would arrive in the morning.
Oh! Let's do that!
Wait,
So
I'm confused.
If you stay, he said, like, if you all make camp here, you all would arrive on the 4th morning.
Okay.
But if
you all press on, you would arrive there
tomorrow night, because we'd
night.
have to walk all night
It-
and all day.
You all wouldn't have to walk all night. He's just asking if you want to press forward for a few more hours.
Yeah, I'm not for it.
Yeah, I'd rather arrive in the morning.
Like, we have night vision, but does he have night vision?
He has good vision.
Yeah, let's keep going. It cuts down on the...
It's her face that makes me not want to.
What's the problem?
There's no problem.
This is fine.
I'm just.
How tired are we currently?
Let's get night.
Y'all are pretty tired.
I mean, I'm already pretty tired.
Okay, then let's stay.
Yeah, we're staying.
Let's go. Let's stay.
I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna tell him that I'm tired, and then I'm gonna tell him that Warrior's tired, and I don't want to push it.
Nods. I'll go ahead and get some brush.
Okay,
Be sure to tell her this is amazing.
I will.
I'm gonna.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that because it's too much. I'm not gonna do that.
His hair is, by the way, pulled up. You can see the fresh haircut that you gave him.
I don't see anything.
He has it tied up with one of the vines, so it kind of has this. He kind of has this like kind of swamp, not swamp man, but it's.
Oh God.
I'm swamp man.
He definitely looks themed. He definitely is fitting the area.
Yikes. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just gonna tell him that I'll tell Nora, and then I'm gonna walk over to Nora and tell him
Goes through.
that what he said. And I'm like, he likes his armor very much. You did a wonderful job.
Oh. Thank you. I'm glad it fits him so well.
Nora took those measurements. What? Never mind. Sorry. That was Sophia.
You see him kind of pause and like look around.
I didn't hear anything.
Here's the ethereal voices of some unknown deities fawning over him.
Okay, so Zoom is gone, right? And it's
He's
just-
off gathering wood and brush to help camouflage the area.
Okay. So, Talavin,
Yes.
do you have a minute while we're alone?
Yeah, I'm just gonna be over there like rebrushing Warrior. I'm gonna undo his mane, rebrush it, and then braid it out again.
His tail keeps flicking you in the face once it's free. He's not happy about being so muddy. It's making him cold.
I'm gonna take his blanket out, and since he laid on it, I'm gonna
It's got mud all-
prestidigitation on it.
Prestidigitation, yes.
Prestidigitation on it a couple times so that it feels
Oh, it's
brand new.
so
And I'm gonna cover him up after he's completely clean, and I'll get him some nice clean water. I'm not gonna give him a sugar cube so that he doesn't continue to be sus of me, but I'm gonna give him a little bit of his grain and whatever hay that I have left.
You didn't replenish that, by the way, whenever you all were in
So
town.
I'm pretty low.
So you're getting relatively low.
I mean, I can druidcraft cattails. That would be easy. Because it's just a one-stalk plant.
Horses don't eat cattails.
But you said you collected some.
For something else. No, I didn't.
Oh, I thought
I just said I collected
I
some.
mean, technically I could grow corn. 'Cause
I mean, yeah,
I would
like
have to grow the whole stalk,
corn,
though.
wheat, and
Well, wheat would be easy.
beets. If you create beets and then I dry them out, then that's
Okay.
actually super substantial for horses.
I'll do wheat because that's pretty easy. It's just like little strands. Just as we're talking, I'm just gonna like be making a couple. Okay.
One single stalk at a time.
Yes, one stalk at a time, and
It
I'm
is
just
what
gonna
it
be
is.
piling it. It's kind of more of a thing to have something to do with my hands than like mass produce wheat.
And as she's actually creating these, I'm gonna like cut the ends off like where like the little fluffy part is, because actually I can make his grain out of that.
Okay.
But the stalks is what the hay is
Yeah,
for.
it's gonna take you a while.
Okay, well, yeah, it's just a little nightly activity, something to keep our hands busy while we talk. So, okay. I didn't plan this all the way in my head the way I wanted to say it. So I've been thinking lately, and it seems like
While she's talking to me, I'm actually gonna be like removing bits of my armor and just like cleaning stuff and like checking over my stuff and like
doing stuff with your
cleaning my boots, maybe making sure there's no potential issues there with all this mud.
Yeah. Everything's clean. Working on cleaning. And I'm just telling you how it is.
It's just what's happening. Okay. Oh yes, so I've been thinking lately, and it seems like, well, you may recall that someone that I trust told me to come find you in Willends.
I'm just gonna kind of like nod, yeah.
And I've been trying to figure out why that is. Granted, we are cousins, and you are someone that I can trust.
I'd like to think so.
Thinking in your head, I hope.
In my head, I'm like, oh, where is this leading?
But I get a feeling that it's for some other reason, and I've been thinking about it the past few days, and I can't come up with anything. Mental weaving.
Can I do an insight check on Nora?
What are you trying to glean?
Just like what she's like, maybe like get like a vibe off of her. Like, is she nervous? Is she like upset?
Yeah,
Okay, hang on.
Just like a general, just like see maybe what's going on.
Nora, are you trying to deceive in any way?
No, I'm trying to have
23. Like, I'm just trying to get like a vibe off her, not like a is she being good or bad.
Because
like,
she's not, being devious or she's trying to be honest and everything. You glean that she's nervous. You glean that she's trying to find the right words as to not necessarily alarm you, which can go one of two ways. She obviously has had something on her mind, and you've been making mental notes as, like, why was she so freaked out? Whatever was on that piece of paper, it obviously freaked her out whenever you were talking with Nessie, and she's not been intentionally deceptive, but she's been withholding information. And you're starting to think, okay, she's probably going to come forth with something like that, but I shouldn't pry too much, because obviously this has been bothering her for a while, and she's choosing now of all times to confide. This must be big, whatever it is. Perhaps prompting or bringing up something of your own might help.
Great. Okay. I get the feeling that I'm going through some sort of change, but I don't know what it is yet. And would it be a logical jump for me to apply that same change to her? Because I was meditating on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you arrived at your current line of thinking.
Good. Because I don't want it to be like, oh, like, Mackenzie heard all of her dreams and is now, like, using it to her advantage.
Yeah, no, you don't know what it is, but you know that she's, she used to not
see
dream.
me wake up
Yes.
a few times, a little.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So there have been several instances that have kind of come forward in your mind, and so you're thinking, she didn't do this as a child, so either something traumatic happened or, or something else is kind of going on. So you're kind of weaving these things, and you can make hesitant leaps of logic.
Hesitant leaps.
Don't worry, I'll keep you in check. I'll let you know if you would or wouldn't know something.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I'm right here.
So since that's the only thing I can think of that's changed for me recently, and that I might be going through some sort of transformation, I was wondering if you had experienced anything like that in the past, or or recently?
I'm gonna kind of like stay quiet for a minute, just kind of like thinking about it in my head, like, how much do I say? How much can I say? What is she gonna think? So I'm just gonna kind of, I don't know,
I know you've acquired some new abilities lately. When we were younger, you were not able to speak to others in their minds.
I'm just gonna kind of like nod and be like, yeah, no, I did recently learn that I had this ability. Obviously, you've probably noticed that I've had a dream here or there. So she knows that my mother was like a Naerstar. Mm-hmm. And like, is it pretty well known that they usually have like spirits with them?
Because I would say that you all probably had a discussion. It's been a while, but she would probably be relatively privy to the information.
Okay.
I mean, how much information can a 12 or so year old absorb?
Yeah.
So
and then how do you say that it's a quarry spirit?
Quarry.
Quarry spirit.
Quarry.
Okay.
Almost like a rock quarry.
Okay.
Quarry spirit.
I'm just gonna let's see. Where did I stop? I can't remember now. I recently have met my quarry spirit.
Nora looks surprised.
Because I'm not gonna tell her, side note, I'm not telling her about Mallet. I'm telling her about my quarry spirit. And I've been doing some training with her, and she's just been kind of bringing out a side that I wasn't aware of yet and still don't really know much about yet. But I mean, I could definitely say that I'm transforming a little bit. You know, not totally sure where it's going yet, but yeah.
I see. I was worried about you with your dreams. It seemed
They're
like
so much fun.
They were causing you a lot of pain.
Such a joke. And you make an insight check.
Oh gosh. 10?
Battle of the Bads.
Oh,
16.
Yeah, you beat me anyway.
yeah, no, she's been, you believe it, she probably, I mean, even though her body has writhed in pain, yeah, maybe it wasn't pain. Maybe it was something else.
Maybe. Okay, so I said I've been going through a change. Something about our Holy Spirit. Do I say that? Do I not say it? No, not yet. Not yet. Do you have? Well, okay. So we may be going through something similar or something different. Either way, have you gotten through yours? Just kind of like, you get maybe the feeling that she's seeking for advice.
I did make one breakthrough just by focusing on what I want to do with my life. Like, just thinking about my family and how I wasn't able to protect them, and thinking about how that's what I want to do, is to be able to protect and save people. I was able to make a breakthrough in my training that I think will help me continue on that path.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we're getting somewhere.
It's somewhere, but we're both withholding.
I know. It's like I want to just tell you everything.
Both of you are giving each other.
It's like I trust you, but it's like yes. I know you're withholding, so I want to be the only one not withholding.
Okay.
I could challenge you to a wisdom save to see who spills it first, but since you're both resisting, though.
It's fine. You got this.
I don't want to resist. Sophia doesn't want to resist, but
Gibson doesn't want to resist, but it has to be in character. Okay. So.
I'm sorry. This is like a timeout, real quick. I don't know what it is. So my vision, you all know how bad my vision is, but I just like happened to see these pair of boots over here, and I thought it was a dog, and I got really scared because I was like, I know there are no animals in this house. I was literally so terrified. I just saw like a dog head, and I was like, dog. And then I was like, it's boots. Okay. I'm sorry. I just like had to like share that.
Those are my boots. Okay, yes. Cause I have dreams as well, and I had one last night that was different than my normal dreams. So if I have one again tonight, I need to reflect on something else.
Yeah, I don't know, focus on something that's significant to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Well, it's getting late. Maybe we could talk again some other time. Are you taking first watch?
I'm pretty tired, so I'm gonna say that I'm gonna take either second or third watch because I can feel my eyelids drooping, and I don't want to miss something. Although my dice might think otherwise later.
Oops! I didn't see anything.
I don't know nothing.
Oh, and before I go, well, I guess I'll take first watch. Okay, I'll take first watch, and as that happens, I'm gonna cast alarm.
Okay. You do this before Zoom gets back?
Well, no, I assume he'll be back.
It's been gone a while.
No!
What have you done?
Perception for Zoom?
Okay, yeah, sure.
For Zoom!
Could you do advantage, or if I'm doing it as well?
One of you advantage, or both of you take a look.
Advantage. You have advantage. Roll again.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Although I think my perception's
so
higher.
good.
Should have done me.
Oh no, it's 9.
My perception's higher. Why?
I was already rolling.
You all have been talking for a while, and you suddenly look around. You don't see your half-orc companion.
Oh no.
And
do I have to see them to link with him?
It has to be within a certain amount of feet.
So I'm gonna try to like reach out.
You have to see him.
I have to see him.
Yeah, you have to have a visual. And
is Tal'el here?
No.
Or wouldn't he sitting by the fire?
No.
You said he was sitting by the fire.
This was earlier, whenever you all were
so no,
doing your
gone.
armor. Yeah.
No, they're both good.
Fuck. Can I do a perception see, like maybe if I see like tracks or anything?
Yeah, sure. Alright, that would be survival.
Survival?
Do I have to know where someone is for messaging?
Do you want to give me advantage in survival? You're gonna look for tracks with me?
Yeah. What was the spell?
Message? Do I have to know where someone is? I said it's mind text.
Natural
it's
20.
120 feet around.
Hey,
plus
let me look this thing up quick.
survival is 6,
so it's message.
It's a cantrip.
You have to point your finger toward a creature within range.
Can I just do like
it's 120 feet, so you'd have to every single foot point in a direction and kind of go over and over and over again.
For every foot? That's not bad.
I'm gonna say that I grab.
Okay, so you look down at the ground immediately, and you're like. Okay,
I'm gonna also say that as I'm looking, I'm putting my armor on and I'm putting my weapons on.
Okay, it would take you probably 10 minutes to put on your armor and put everything on because you were just cleaning it. Everything was pretty much off. You were in your underclothes.
Okay, I'm gonna say I just put on my chest plate and that's it.
Okay, yeah, it takes you a couple minutes as you're automatically checking the ground, looking around, and with that natural 20, you know that he went off to get some brush, went off to get some wood, help disguise the camp, And you immediately kind of go in the area, and you do pick up some very muddy tracks heading off to the east, actually.
Okay, so back to where we came, almost.
Would it be in the direction that we came, or like just like eastward in general?
Just in general. Not directly back the way that you came, but back east.
And our stuff is all unpacked, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were making camp.
Fuck.
You should take Warrior with you, but leave everything else.
Leave everything else. I don't want to leave it on my shit.
It's Zoom! Zoom up me. Wait, can I point message in the direction of the tracks?
You can take a chance. Sure. What do you send?
Are you okay?
No response.
It's not okay, Nora.
Oh god. Okay, so I'm gonna say that okay, fuck.
Let's follow the tracks.
Okay, I mean, yes, we have to follow the tracks, but I don't want to just leave my gorgeous animal.
Take it with you.
I know what that
Yeah, he looks like he's just snuggling into one of the trees, and he's just kind of tucking himself in with his fresh.
He can probably
blanket.
protect a little bit because he's in battle. I'm gonna go over to Warrior and I'm gonna like, we have to go find. I mean, can I link with him? Like, he could technically understand me a little bit link-wise, wouldn't he?
Roughly.
Okay, well, I'm gonna link with him. I'm gonna be like,
You see him.
our companions are missing. I want you to stand guard while I'm gone.
You get this feeling of kind of concern, this pressing concern. You see his head. You get the
Attack anyone that's not one of our companions.
Can I?
And then I give him a kiss on the forehead.
feeling- He noses your chest a little bit, reassuringly.
Can I ask to see if he saw where they went?
Sure.
Warrior, did you see where they went? Was it just this direction?
Yes.
Oh, my little angel of love and dove. I love him so much.
You didn't see anything in the distance?
Things. No.
Thank you. We have to go search for them now. Let's go!
You watch as you guys leave. As you all dart off into the forest. You all are technically not with your companion, so your movement speed is halved, and I need you to make another survival check as you all sprint off into the woods.
Oh, I slip and fall on my face. 10.
Survival? 10.
And 10, both of you 10, you look around at the ground, you know which direction the tracks were headed, and it's starting to get dark, the moonlight, even though you all both have dark vision, it's casting strange shadows on the ground. You are having a hard time picking up on the trail. You think it's this direction, but you're not sure.
I don't want to start like yelling in the middle of a forest.
I should have put tracking on that armor that I gave him. So I could always know where he is.
There's no sounds, just eerily quiet.
Are there big trees around, or is it like
Most of them are
shrub?
smaller, like skinnier trees, but there are a couple larger trees.
Okay.
Wait! You could get an aerial view. With Warrior.
I know, but I mean, how dense is this forest?
The trees are, it's still like winter, early spring. The
So, like,
canopy,
if I
there
went
hasn't
up-
been a canopy overall. You can certainly try. I mean, it's, landing and taking
I
off.
wonder
would
if
be a
I
little bit
focus
interesting.
enough, could I produce my own wings?
You haven't tried.
I feel like the threat of electricity helped too much. Okay, so we're kind of just like lost right now.
Yeah, you're looking down at the ground. You don't, I mean, the tracks seem faint and it seems like they go in this particular direction, but you're not sure.
Okay, I'm gonna like turn to Nora and be like, maybe if I try flying up with Warrior, we can try to see something from
That's
up
a
there.
good idea.
Okay, so we're gonna go back.
Make another survival check. 8. You turn around and you all made your campfire.
Unnatural 20.
Nora is having a hard time, but you look and you're like, nope. And you grab her hand and you head directly back Takes you all a couple minutes, but you stump her back into camp. Warrior instantly gets up and stomps his feet, and he kind of looks ashamed. His ears kind of come back a little bit.
And then I go to him, I'm like, that was very good. That was a good boy.
He was so good.
He's so good. And I'm going to be like, okay.
He kind of stomps a little bit. He seems anxious. You didn't close the link with him, so you get this kind of overall, like, hey, what's going on? That's the vibe.
Okay. I'm gonna continue to converse with him and be like, we didn't find them. Me and you are gonna go up and try to get an aerial view and see if we can see them. I'm gonna take his blanket off and I'm gonna put it down. And I'm just
saddle him?
I don't need a fucking saddle. What do you think I am? Damn.
He'll be taking off and flying. It might be hard.
Well, Perseus doesn't make it look that hard. And you'd be surprised how easy it is to ride bareback.
On a flying horse?
Yeah, it's on a flying horse. I'm taking around in front of the wings and holding on. I mean, I'm just saying, it's not that difficult, but I'll put the saddle on for Madison's sake.
How long does it take you?
Hey, look, you want to watch me saddle a horse quick AF? Time me.
Make a dexterity check.
Damn.
Oh. I would help.
Takes me 30 minutes. An 8.
An 8, your hand, you find your hands are kind of shivering and quaking. You're nervous as he's kind of stopping you.
Just with the buckles or something? No.
I wouldn't, that's fine. It is what it is.
You find your hand shaking. I need you both to make a perception check for me.
Wow, she's just gonna be wandering off in the woods.
15.
19.
You all hear from behind. You whip around and zoom.
Are you kidding me?
Mother...
Are you
I
kidding
storm up to him and I grab onto his shoulders. I'm like, where have you been? What were you doing? And I link with him. I'm like, what were you doing?
He's just kind of cowering, and you can see there are 5 rabbits in his hand.
Ah!
There's a bundle of brush which he instantly dropped.
I release him, but I cuff him on the back of the head, and I'm like, next time you need to tell someone before you go wandering off. I'm still linked with him.
He doesn't even have the words to say. He's just so
Is Tal'el with him?
Mm-hmm.
I look at Tal'el and I'm like, you can speak! There's no reason that you should be wandering off.
He looks just as alarmed. He kind of shrinks behind Zoom's neck,
I'm such a mom. God.
He's kind of had this apprehension, but among larger folk. Normal human-sized individuals. But this is the first time he's actually looked at you guys, kind of terrified once again of this kind of innate primal fear.
There's this red aura around me, and I'm just pissed.
And he's like, he wanted to do something nice. For both of you.
Well, being nice and scaring us to death are 2 very different things.
I just kind of breathe and oh, sorry. We were just...
I kind of crack my neck a little bit and I kind of compose myself and I'm like...
This kind of
you'd been gone for a long time.
Sorry, I tried getting your attention. You all were talking. I didn't want to interrupt you, so we saw rabbits head off and it wasn't too long. I'm sorry. He holds out the bracelet.
And just grab him and be like, it was very thoughtful, but next time, tell someone.
Make an intimidation check.
No. Not very intimidating.
You have advantage, remember?
I have advantage? Oh, I do have advantage. What was my other one? A 6? I can't read this. It's so tiny.
You can see Zoom in a moment of comfort. Actually
11.
11. You mostly came off like a very strict and panicked mom.
That's fine. That's good enough for me, I guess.
It was.
I wasn't trying to be mean. I was just
to be reckoned with, but he is an adult. You can see
he's an adult.
he reaches up and kind of grabs his collar and kind of pulls it close and kind of pulls Tal'el a little bit closer, and you can just see them both just kind of pale face, anime style, the lines over their faces. They're just like, what just happened?
But he's an adult.
But he's an adult. I'm gonna like, I take the rabbits and I'm gonna go back to the fire and I'm just gonna start like skinning them angrily.
You begin to do so. He picks up his bundle of branches and breaks some of them, puts them in the fire. Doesn't make any attempt to make eye contact. He is shook as he continues setting up camouflage around the camp.
Oh. Sorry guys, small moment.
I knew it was gonna happen.
Like, oh, he's fine.
Yo, what if he wasn't?
I know.
Oh, that just made me so tense.
He's an adult.
You begin cooking. After you kind of drain the rabbits for a little bit of time, everything's kind of calmed down. He just sits kind of curled up, his knees pressed to his chest, hands folded, just watching the fire. Every once in a while he'll glance up at both of you and just go back to watching the fire.
So 5 rabbits? That would make a nice stew.
They're nice, juicy rabbits.
Wish I had some taters.
Can you make some taters? Technically, it's just a potato.
I can. I was just quoting Lord of the Rings. But I mean, I can.
Yeah, make some taters. Make some
I
taters.
can grow some taters.
I'm gonna like, as I'm like scanning, I'm looking at Nora and be like, can you make some potatoes? I'll make a stew. Okay, so there's 5, and they're pretty big.
They're pretty hefty, pretty chunky.
I'm gonna keep 2 of. I'm only gonna skin 3 of them.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna leave the other 2.
Are you gonna drain them?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm gonna leave them, and then I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna like keep because rabbit skins they sell. Those are nice pelts right there. What color are they?
Just standard kind of a brown.
Okay.
Some of them have a little bit of
can be
moss,
warm,
moss
bro.
in their fur.
And I'll brush it out. It's not the big deal.
I don't know why you guys are so worried.
What kind of bill?
Because you're the DM, Madison. That's why we're
It's been a
worried.
long time and zooms out at night in the woods and it's dark and
And then Tal'el went with him. That's what made me nervous.
It's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and cast alarm while she's doing that, and then I can grow potatoes, right?
It would take you a long time
Okay,
to
no, I can't grow potatoes. It would take me.
It
a
would,
while.
I mean, druid crafting, something kind of simple like wheat, but this is like, I'm going to form
I will grow
potato.
You will grow potato. Okay, never mind.
Okay,
We'll
so
just
what
have
can I
meat
make
stew.
with
It's just meat stew.
meat stew?
You could put some
Would I have
in it.
anything that I can put in there? Like I don't have anything written down, so I don't know.
You haven't gone food shopping, so no.
Okay, so
You're right.
check. Next time we are going food shopping. Goddamn it! 'Cause I feel like
Off into the unknown with no supplies. This is fine.
I feel like I wrote it down in my other.
It's fine though. I have 11 pounds of dried boar. Still.
Zoom kind of comes over timidly and kind of begins helping you. He's not making eye contact, but he begins kind of cutting up the meat.
I'm gonna say that I instead of a stew, I mean I can like kind of like
Just cook it.
yeah, I'll just cook it. Put some herbs on it that I have. Give it a little bit of
So
flavor,
smear it into it.
and then just kind of like sear it.
Mm-hmm. Simple enough. You all take the evening. Now, are you all keeping watch?
Yeah, I'll take third,
I was taking first.
and then Jim will take second.
He kind of goes over.
You don't have to be bashful. It's okay. We were just worried that we may have lost you.
And so that kind of brings a little smile to his face as he.
And I understand that you're an adult. It's just someone goes off in the woods by themselves at night.
Zoom goes over, curls up once again by the fire after you all eat, and drifts off to sleep.
I kind of like sit up because I'm still just a little like tense. So I'm gonna like start skinning like the rabbit furs a little
You're
bit.
taking first watch?
No, I'm taking third watch, but I'm just not like calm enough to like lay down currently. So I'm just gonna like start skinning the 3.
Man, these men are
Like
so
tanning them out a
sensitive.
little bit. Yeah, I know, right? Like, good lord.
The first two people who show someone kindness and all of a sudden they're shouting at him, yeah, absolutely sensitive snowflake over here.
Yeah, hey, look, buddy.
They are.
If you're gonna walk off in the middle of the night, not tell anybody, somebody's gonna get worried. It just shows how much we care. That was all Sophia.
That's why you're mumbling to yourself as you're like,
Your rage stripping this.
Rage.
rage strip.
I go into a complete rage. No! Turns into a pile of ash in front of me. No.
Cool.
Nora, you drift off to sleep first? No.
I took first watch.
You took me first watch. Okay, make
How about
perception-
since I'm so angry, I'm gonna be like, why don't you let me take first watch? I don't think I can sleep.
Okay.
I'll take first watch.
Right. Perception check.
Natural 20.
You are seeing all.
26 if you add my actual perception in there.
You're scaring the rabbits though.
But a natural 20 plus 26?
You can
What do you want me to do? Roll disadvantage?
Yeah.
I'll do it.
You can listen.
18.
18? Okay. Even after
Take that disadvantage.
After sufficiently
She
cleaning
dissed my
skins.
natural 20. I'm pissed.
I was just throwing it out there. How much attention were you actually? A perception check requires you to be paying attention to your environment. If you are rage stripping